Welcome everybody to TTE ESPN. I am Vita Van Pelt. That is soy sauce, and we are here today with the new series we will be starting. If you already clicked this, you're here. Drop a like, drop a comment. Hey, we take bad comments too. We don't be tripping off of that. We take
All of
bad
it.
comments. Yeah, we
All
take
of it.
all of them. You know what I'm saying? Drop a like, and if you stay long enough, you might as well hit the sub. Dem is free, y'all. Dem is free. We won't ever ask y'all for nothing. All right. I am Vita Van Pelt, your residential Hornets fan. Soy sauce part of the Lakers game
Whoa,
in the
whoa,
building. In the
whoa,
building.
whoa.
All right, you guys. So today we'll be starting a series to where we love to talk about a lot of different things going on in the sports world outside of our team. And today we will be starting a series that we started a while ago. We never kind of separated it, made it official to where we isolate a topic. So now we are going to start to do that. And this week we will be bringing nobody else than Victor Wembanyama to the podium. And we are going to be talking expectations of his career, his rookie year, the Spurs' expectations, and what we think he can, will, and should be, since he is the greatest prospect we've seen since LeBron James.
That's
Y'all
bold.
ready to get
That's
into it?
bold
That's
that people
bold.
doing that.
That's bold. That's bold. That's real bold. So, y'all ready to get into it? Let's bring Victor Wembanyama to the couch, y'all, and put him on the podium. You are now on the spotlight, my mans. Let's get it going. Soy sauce.
Yes, sir.
What, when did you first hear about Victor Wembanyama?
A year and a half ago. No, actually, 2 to 3 years ago when he had that clip where he was playing one-on-one against Rudy Gobert.
That's the same moment that I found
That
out
was
who
the
he was.
first time I heard about him.
First
But
time
then
I found out
it
who he
kind of went radio silent for a little bit
was.
because he was only like, I think he was like
16,
17, 16,
15,
yeah, 16 years old, something like that. He was like 6'11", 7 foot.
yeah,
And they just showed him working Rudy Gobert, which if you got a little bit of skill as a big, we know it ain't
yeah,
that hard to do against Rudy Gobert.
definitely.
That was
Yeah,
my first look where I was like, okay, he's 16, he's like a buck 20,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah. So that was the I know the exact clip you're talking about. That was my first time seeing him too. Like that was 100% my first time seeing him. And I was like, okay, kid smooth, got the game to him. I like first thing that popped off to me was just how smooth his shooting form was at that age. I was like, okay, it's not gonna be a struggle for him to shoot. Definitely seeing the clips now, I'm like, oh yeah, he's definitely trying to get fancy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Just kind of having fun with it. But I was like, okay, he's got it good for him. He's letting it go. So I know that won't be a problem for him when he as he continues on. Usually we're used to seeing the ultra athletic dudes, but so I was like, okay, that's what caught me there in that moment. So I definitely that was our first, yeah. So it's both our first shared interaction of Victor, man. So now that we both have that shared interest, we are now here. The San Antonio Spurs won the lottery. So everybody knew the lottery was about who got number one and who was going to have the pleasure. The easiest GM job of the summer was whoever got number one. You are already finding houses. Everybody's house is probably on sale for €1 million in San Antonio right
yo,
now.
facts.
Whatever their currency is, the easiest GM job of the summer was whoever got the number one pick. You don't have to scout nobody. You don't have to do nothing else. You can lose your job. You can't lose your job passing them. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah,
number one.
you,
You
you
got to
can't
take
lose your
Victor.
job picking Victor
Yeah,
Wembanyama at least for the length
yeah.
of his rookie contract.
The
At
length of his rookie
least.
contract. Yeah, it's the safest job in the world to be number one and to take Victor and be like, we had to take him. So we said it last year. We said if the NBA was to rig the lottery and want to handpick where Victor went, me and you both said you send him to Pop. We
Yep,
both
San
said,
Antonio Spurs.
like, yeah, we said they're gonna be bad. They got off of DeJounte Murray. If there was ever a year to say, hey, we want to suck and try to get the number one pick, this was the year to do it. So they did that. So that in itself, people, they were mad. This team's been tanking forever, and the Spurs tank 1 year and they get Victor. So it's yay. We know how that goes. San Antonio people was out there deep. I seen the reaction videos. It was wild,
It
man.
was hype. It's like they almost penciled in a couple championships in the next 5 to 7
Yeah,
years.
yeah. They did. That's boy, and that's the landscape we're going to be able to look at as we kind of bring Victor to the podium here, man. So let's talk rookie expectations for Victor Wembanyama. So I want to bring
Rookie
up a list of the
expectations.
past handful of rookie of the years. 2018, 2019, you got Luka, then you got John Morant, then you got my own Promise Prince, LaMelo Ball, Scotty
Scotty
Barnes,
Barnes.
and Paolo Banchero. Those are your last 5 rookie of the years. I would think we can both stand here and say before that, you had names such as Ben Simmons, Malcolm Brogdon, Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
Man.
kind of safe. Yeah, it's kind of safe to say that the rookie of the years at that point, before that, Michael Carter Williams, and then you get Dame and Kyrie and Blake Griffin. So that was a little bit of a slump in rookie of the years and how they're going. Luka has been all NBA every year since his rookie year, right?
Yep.
So
And only
he's
gotten
been
better every single year.
only gotten better. Ja Morant was all NBA. We see where he's at. No more shining him on that. LaMelo, good. He has great signs, but he hasn't been consistent on the court.
When he's healthy, when he's healthy, he's up there.
But that's the last tag you want to get on a superstar player is when he's healthy.
Yeah.
Nothing serious, just a lot of dings that keep him out. I know this year they just got tired of it and said sit. Scotty Barnes, I think Scotty Barnes and the Raptors was the only ones to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
I don't think, so Scotty Barnes was the only one to make the playoffs, and now they might be blowing that up. And we see what Paolo Banchero did here with the Magic this season. Very up and down, but I think he did what I expected him to do.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Looking at these 5 kind of in their rookie years from Luka, Ja, LaMelo, Scotty, and Paolo, do you think Victor is penciled in to be the next rookie of the year in line for next year?
100%. 100%.
100%.
100%. I think the only thing that's gonna stop him is now they have a requirement on how many games you have to play in order for you to qualify for these awards. It's the only thing that's gonna stop him, especially being over there in San Antonio with Pop.
Yep.
Only thing that's gonna stop him. But yes, pencil him in, take the over, whatever betting lines there is that's out there right now. Take it.
I looked today. I looked yesterday actually when we had the conversation getting this, and FanDuel has the odds at that moment that I looked. Victor Wembanyama to be rookie of the year was minus 184, and then the field was 262, was plus 262.
Damn, the field.
It was like the field. Anybody else was plus 262. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I might put $20 on the field.
Hey, let me know. I'll shoot you $20. Put that on there too.
We can double that up.
I'm okay with that.
We have $20 on 262. That's gotta be like $100, right?
They said the field, and there's 4 other guys automatically off tops.
It's Victor and the field, and like you said, all you would need to win that bet is him not to meet the game requirements.
Easy.
So then it's like, then he can't get the bet. Then it's like, bet, we won the bet. We took the field, everybody else.
So as soon as we get to game 70 and Paulo's and Victor's only played 42 games.
Yeah, it's money. That's money.
Go and tell him to send me that.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to probably put 20 on the field just because of that. So to keep the focus on Victor, what type of – so there's 2 streets we talked about this. In kind of gauging what we'll do with Victor, the statistical end of it, and then the impact end of it.
Yep.
Victor made a statement at the draft that he's trying to win a ring and he's trying to win one ASAP. So from that statement alone, and what we talk about is if you are a perceived top 25 player, and I don't want to put that on a rookie, but if you are a perceived top end player, you should at least be a play-in team at minimum.
Yeah.
10 teams get the chance to go to the playoffs. Your team should no longer be in the lottery. Luka's teams was not in the lottery. They they decided to try to get into this, right? So that's what put them in this position. So let's start with the statistical expectations for Victor Wembanyama in his first year. What do you think, Oos?
Biggest thing I'm looking at is I got to look at the most recent big man, since he is a big. Everyone else outside of Karl Anthony Towns is a guard. Ben Simmons is kind of that cusp guy where you want to put him in the center area because he can't really shoot.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Karl Anthony Towns, 54% from the field, 18 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.5, almost 2 blocks. That's kind of the realm that I'm going to put him in, is around the 20, 22 points per game. I mean, it's been dang near since Blake Griffin, since we've had anyone average 22 points a game as a rookie of the year.
So that's actually crazy because I think that was what I told you I expect him to walk in the league and do on any team. Was I
22?
think that no 18 and 10.
Oh,
I
18,
said
yeah.
he should be able to,
Yeah.
yeah. I said he should be able to walk in and from day one give 18 and 10 and a block. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
Yeah.
that should just be the baseline of expectations what you should get from him in his rookie year. So I actually like that line. I know some people might, again, we are tempering to expectations of still being a rookie, still being young. There is a lot of adjustments to be made. It's an 82 game season, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I was like, so you have to give them time.
I mean,
So I
we
like
saw
that line.
Paulo kind of break down a little bit during the
Yeah,
82 game.
yeah,
I also gotta put some sort of some sort of govern on the fact that you're playing for Pop. You're not gonna
yeah.
get 30, 40 minutes. You're not gonna
And
get 30
that's
minutes a game.
and that's when we talk about his surroundings. You said you had a projected depth chart for what the Spurs should look like next year, right?
I do. Let me get that pulled up.
So you also don't get Karl Anthony Towns numbers because you got Pop. So we're expecting more from you because you got Pop. And you got to, I know a Jeremy Sohan, a Keldon Johnson, a Devin Vassell, a Trey Jones. Not a lot of names that I think people would like, but these are some very good players that I think all are like the perfect cast for a superstar player. So if that's Victor, it shouldn't be as difficult as it is. I like that cast around him.
All right. So depth chart potentially going into next year. Your starting five is gonna look like Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, who those are kind of those two young stars on that team, Devin Vassell, Keldon Johnson, who spent a lot of time hurt last year. And
Yep.
then Jeremy Sohan. And then Keita Bates Diop is currently slotted in there as a starting center. Obviously, we know Victor
Yeah,
gonna kind of
Victor's gonna
slide
play.
into there, but
Yep. Victor's gonna play. Yeah. I think I'm gonna make Karl Anthony Towns the floor. Even though like the ceiling expectations for this dude should be 22 and 13.
mhm.
Like I really don't think I think we should have to. You're walking in like this. You're making statements that you're making, so you should be held to a higher standard. But I'm gonna make that my personal line. Anything less to me than 18 and 10 in your rookie year is a failure. I'll
Yeah,
just say that. So that's why I'll draw my line is that.
especially with the hype. I mean, we're not the. Let me clear this up for y'all. Hey, we don't buy into the hype that y'all
No,
hear. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a little different, but with the hype behind it, like you said, you got to walk into 18 and 12, 18 and 10.
yeah. So I'm gonna make that the floor. Anything less than 18 to 10 to me, I'm gonna be like, yeah, we cashed our money on the field. Somebody else should be rookie of the year. If he's doing less than 18 and 10, somebody else better be in there to steal that rookie of the year from him. So that I dig that. I like that line being the floor of his expectations. So what do you think is the high? What is the high of a Victor Wembanyama rookie year?
Oh, the high. All right, I'm gonna get bold.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
what
go
is the
20.
ceiling for his
I'm gonna
year?
go 26 points a game, 13 rebounds, 2 blocks. And I think he's so good at facilitating. They're bringing in Tim Duncan, they're bringing in Tony Parker, they're bringing in Manu Ginobili to mentor him. I'm
Yeah,
gonna put him at like 4 or 5 assists because
4 or 5.
I
Ooh,
think he has the ability of what we've seen from Paulo, maybe not to that extent. And Paulo went and got 4 assists a game,
okay.
and
So right
he
now I'm
wasn't even
looking
the
at
number one option, I don't think, until maybe like I want to say 15, 20 games into the season. Paulo started being that dude. And his body
yeah,
broke down a little bit, missed some games,
yeah.
came back, and he continued to be the focus. But 4 assists a game, to me, seems pretty reasonable. Karl Anthony Towns ended up with 2 assists a game, and then that's kind of the floor that we're going to put that at.
Okay, so this year Domantas Sabonis led the league in rebounds with 12.3. You had Jokic with 11.8, Giannis with 11.8, Rudy with 11.6, and Clint Capella with 11. So
That's perfect case scenario. He coming in
yeah,
12-13.
that's the high. That's the high because you have to ask yourself, like you said, if you are this generational prospect, you have to come in on there. So 13 will be clearly leading the league in rebounding. Doing the 10, just doing the 10 would have him at 10th in the NBA, tied with Julius Randle, Joel Embiid. Hey, Joel Embiid, F you, you sold me on too many rebound parlays. And Jonas Valanciunas. Those are the 4 guys. I'm missing somebody that I did. And yeah, Jonas, Embiid, and Randle, and DeAndre Ayton all average 10 assists, 10 rebounds. I'm sorry. So doing the bare minimum will get you a top 10 in the league, and doing 13 you should be a top 3 rebounder in the league. Like if we're looking at the high of what you're supposed to be, 7'4" unicorn, that's everywhere. So I like that. So you said 26 points?
26 points.
26. Ooh, let me see
26
where that would put him.
points.
Yeah, let me see where that would put him at if he this season in context of what that would have looked like. So I can't read right now. Points. 26 would have him in between Ja Morant and Lloyd Markkinen. Ja and Trey both had 26.2. Jaylen Brown had 26.6. And Laurie had 25.6. Julius Randle had 25.1. So that would sandwich him in between there.
Mm-hmm.
You have people like Pascal Siakam who did 24, Jimmy Butler who did 22, 22.9 during the year. Jalen Green, 22.
There you go.
His teammate, Keldon Johnson, 22. 22 a game.
And that's not being healthy all season.
Yep. Only playing 63 games.
And again, to preface it for y'all, this is just perfect case scenario, him, the high of the high, where we're kind of just where he might be if he's doing what he needs to do.
I think best case, I would lean more 24 and right under 12. I would lean 24 and 12 with 2 blocks a game.
And I put him in
That's kind of
between Ja and Chris Middleton scoring wise.
Yeah, I will go 24 and 12, 24 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks. I think that's the high of him. So our floor for Victor would be a Karl Anthony Towns rookie year, which was 18 and 10,
mm-hmm.
and 10 rebounds. In the context of last year, would have still had him right around the top 10 rebounders in the league. And 18 points clearly is 18 points, barely in the top 50, but that's the floor. You're Victor. You're the greatest prospect we are supposed to have seen. That is literally the floor of what we're asking you. And the ceiling will be 24 and 12. So I like that. I like that floor ceiling news. I will take that floor ceiling.
It's 18 and 10 as a floor, 24 and 12 as a ceiling.
24 and 12 as the ceiling of what we will see from Victor within his rookie year.
Cool.
So with Victor doing this, what can, aside from other free agent moves being made, I will go ahead and say I think the expectations for Pop, Victor, and this group should to at least just be a play-in team.
They went 22 and 60 last year.
Yeah, but we've seen play-in teams get in that won 33 games before. You know what I'm saying?
22 and 60. So the Pelicans with the 10th, they were in the 10th spot, was 42 and 40. The very next was Dallas on the out. They went 38 and 44.
Yeah. So look at the Pelicans the year before. What was the the Pelicans just barely made it in the year before that they lost to the Suns. Like there was the year the Hornets made it, and it was like the Nets, Hornets, Hawks, and Bulls all had like 42 wins. And there was like a year where I think the Pelicans made it in and had like 36 wins.
I think that was last year.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Because the play-in can vary a lot. I think just
actually was the Spurs that made it in 34 and 48 last year.
34 wins. So and then they got rid of DeJounte Murray and got Victor Wembanyama. You know what I'm saying? So I think just saying F the record, you should at least be a 10 seed play-in team in the West. I just feel like that should be a fair assumption. Again, this is having to hold Victor accountable to this generational talent and the legendary coach and Pop himself to pull out 34 games. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to
it's like asking Mike Tomlin in the NFL to go above 500.
Over we're not asking you to get a final, to get a first round series. We're just saying, hey, had a play-in game. They made the play-in game for Zion and them. Make the play-in game, bro. You really should not be a lottery team next year going into the next season. So would you say that's a fair Spurs expectations for them next year?
I think so.
Just a play-in team.
Pop took a break. Pop took a break this year from he didn't have a great team. He didn't have a healthy team. Yeah. This is kind of the outcome of that. So I think he reworks that, comes in next year with a whole new, not necessarily staff, but he has a whole new development team coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, I literally don't care about the record. As long as they're a 10th seed playing team, I'd be like, okay, cool. Y'all did what y'all supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all,
Yep.
y'all got into the playing game. You took a year off, got, did what you had to do. Y'all got there. Cool. I would take that dub. So, what will we name as Victor's rookie contract expectations? So this would lead us until about the year 2027, 2028.
Talking about
Are we
accolades or what we talking about?
accolades? So, like, for example, we talked about Luka. Luka's been all NBA every year since he's been out of his rookie year.
Yep.
We're looking at Jai, who has a all NBA season. From the recent rookie of the years, we know Victor's going to make an all-star appearance because everybody and their mama from that side of his country is going to vote for him to get in. The NBA is not going to allow him to not get in. So what type of expectations throughout Victor's contract, rookie deal, first 3-4 years in the league are we expecting?
Before I answer that, I want to go with the top 5 centers in the NBA right now, just based on statistical achievements and things like that. Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, Bam Adebayo, Rudy Gobert, DeAndre Ayton, Kristaps Porzingis, Karl Anthony Towns.
The Porzingis. Let's go.
That's 7, right? If I'm looking for Victor Wembanyama come 2027, give me two All NBA teams. All you got to do is outplay. Probably not going to outplay Joel Embiid. You might with the expectations going around.
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic is playing 72 games, 75 games a year. Bam Adebayo is playing 75 games a year. So you really got one spot to make the
struggling to get love.
Yeah.
So
you got one spot to make the All NBA team, third All NBA team. Give me at least 2 of those.
Yeah.
Give me at least 2 of those. You're under pop.
You know what? I think if we have to lean into his expectations too, I think 2 All NBAs within his rookie deal should be doable.
Easy. 2023 all the way into 2027. Give me 2 of those. Give me 2 of those.
I think one has to be done minimum, of course. One has to be done minimum. But yeah, two's leaning into the legend of what we're supposed to be seeing come into this league. So I can agree with that.
I also need at least 2 playoff appearances, 2 to 3 playoff appearances from now until 2027. At least 2 to 3.
I'm only giving the play in this year.
Yeah, everything else you better be. If you're in the play in, be in that 7 spot.
Yeah. Yeah. He only gets to play in just 10 seed this year. Everything else after that is like, nah, you got to be in there. You got to get in there. So, I'm not asking for well, you got to get in there and start to make a little run because, again, we look at this list and we get difficult. Like I said, looking at Luka, who's been to a WCF within that time frame backpack, and looking at Ja, who's only been to second round at best. You know what I'm saying? Yep. Those are really like the 2 standards of rookie of the years that he's going to be going to. LaMelo 2 play-ins, blown out. Scotty Barnes playoffs. Now his team's on a new coach, moving on. And Paolo's the rookie now, so I'm with you.
My last, I think, expectation for Victor Wembanyama. Again, I'm going off of the hype. I'm going on what they're saying. Biggest since LeBron James, maybe bigger than.
Yeah.
Luka Doncic since 2019, he came to the league. The next year, actually over the last 3 years, 2021, 22, 2020, 2023, he's been in the MVP conversation. He may not be up there in the top 3, but he's been right there at 4 and 5. Victor Wembanyama better be in that conversation for top 3 into the MVP conversation.
Yep.
In at least year 3 or 4.
Okay. Yep, I'll take that too.
At least 3 or 4.
Because you said you have the high of having to follow Luka up and what Luka has done from the moment he's walked in till now and has a WCF in his back pocket. You mentioned the standard of having to deal with Embiid, but Embiid's got the MVP and doesn't have the Eastern Conference Finals. So I think overall, axing in his rookie deal to have at least mandating 1 All-NBA appearance, definitely leaning into you.
Absolutely.
Should be 2. Yeah, should be 2. You're going to be all-star every single year. So we are minus injuries. You'll be an all-star every single year. We already know that part. So yeah, I'm with you. I could take that and at least get into the MVP voting conversation. Get some 5th place votes.
And anything outside of that, not gonna call him a bust because people throw around that word bust way too just way
Yeah,
too
yeah, yeah,
loosely. He's not a bust,
yeah,
but you take his name out of the conversation of best since LeBron James.
yeah.
You then have to take his name and put it under the
But
best
and
since Luka Doncic.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But and this is the part that's getting me is Victor's believing the T too, though.
Oh yeah,
Like he's not shying from it. Like he's not shying from being this player that he's projected to be. He's not shying from it at all. So that's why I'm glad we're able to sit here and talk about expectations of what we like, what we want to see from him, and what we think should be allowed, and what is meeting your expectations and not meeting them before we try to bang you for having a bad 3-game stretch like most will. So we're not gonna do that part. All right. In the final one. So we done covered his rookie year expectations, the Spurs expectations within his rookie year. We done covered his rookie contract expectations. Now to close it out, what is Victor Wembanyama's career expectations? Now, Chris Bouchard and Nick Wright went on there and they was talking about it. And Bouchard made that outlandish statement saying that if he's KD, Anthony Davis, or Hakeem Olajuwon, it's a disappointment. And Nick Wright was like, "You're gonna tell me him being a top 25 player is a disappointment?" He said, "Then you're setting this kid up for failure."
facts.
So yes, and it's true. So, what is the career expectations for Wembanyama when he's done?
When it's all said and done, if it all goes the right way, you should be a top 5 to top 7 center of all time.
Top 5 to top 7.
Top 5 to top 7. Because right now, I'm gonna read you the top 10 list. And this ain't in any order. This is just the top 10 that everyone puts in their 10, right?
Yep.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Wilt Chamberlain, Hakeem Olajuwon, Bill Russell, Moses Malone, Shaquille O'Neal, David Robinson, Willis Reed, Bill Walton, George Mikan. Half of that list are guys that were in the 80s and the 70s.
Yep.
Nikola Jokic might for sure be in that list when it's all said and done for him, right? So he's knocking out one of those guys.
Yep.
When it's all said and done for Victor Wembanyama, based on the hype that we see in today, you better be in that list. Top 5 to top 7. You better be in that list. Easy.
So let's talk about the guy he's gonna be chasing, just in his own tier.
Mm-hmm.
Will he be able to match Duncan's accolades?
No.
Will he be able to match David Robinson's accolades?
Yes. That is who I think he's chasing. David Robinson.
Okay.
That's who you're chasing.
So by the time his career gets all said and done, it should be the NBA top 100, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be on that list for sure. You got to be on the NBA top 100 list. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to be. Look, Dame made the 75 and he's still playing, so you got a good little minute to get there. So you should be on the NBA top 100 list. I agree. You should be a top 10 center. Jokic has multiple MVPs. They gave one to Giannis. They gave one to Embiid. So a dominant big man is going to get the MVP. So I would say you should at least have a MVP, if not 2 MVPs in your back pocket. The statement about winning rings in an organization like that, I'm just going to say 2. I'm just going to say 2. Because again, I think it'd be very difficult to try to repeat what Duncan and them did. So I'm going to say 2. You got to get yourself 2. Yeah, but beyond that, I think to say that you hit the top 10 center list means that your stats would have lined up with your timeline of play.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll take that.
So I'm gonna look at the number one person that I continue to refer to, comparing him to, just because I mean ability. Obviously, we ain't seen somebody like Victor Wembanyama do what he does unless you comparing him to KD. Not gonna compare him to KD because he's not a small forward.
Yep.
Kristaps Porzingis is who I keep thinking about.
Yep.
Kristaps Porzingis' best year was probably this last season, playing 65 games, 23 points a game, 38% from the 3, 50% from the field, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. That's probably his best well-rounded overall season. You can go look at the Knicks years, but I mean, his best year with the Knicks was probably his last year there, 22 points a game, 43 from the field, 39 from the 3, 6-1. Like it's even then. This last season is probably his best in the NBA. And that's what I keep comparing him to is a Kristaps Porzingis.
Okay. All right. Victor, we've now put you on a podium, examined you. We gave you your floor and your ceiling of our expectations for your rookie year, rookie contract, and your career. Now, hey, now the spotlight is all on you, my mans. We'll see how you. Oh, wait. What do you make of the little, you know what I'm saying, the yeah about not going to Houston? Yeah. Hey, that's
Hey,
gonna be
bro,
funny.
I think he's on social media way too much, and I think he was following the whole James Harden trying to leave Houston, and then now
Yeah.
James Harden coming back to Houston. I think he was just like, I don't know if I want to be there, man. They're not
Yeah. So
really doing nothing.
I seen a report that said that he said he woke up and felt like, oh, I'm gonna go to San Antonio, and with all his connections to San Antonio, it feels like that was part of it too. But he was just more like, oh, one step closer to the Spurs, one step closer to the Spurs. So, but yeah, you see Jabari Smith talk about something noted and stuff. I said, oh no, I said okay, all right,
Man, it's
y'all,
like
y'all got to now.
you was begging to have the number one
Yeah,
pick, Jabari. Come on,
yeah,
dog. Come
yeah,
on, dog.
yeah. So yeah, that's gonna be funny. That's gonna be funny, man. That yeah, I can't wait for that matchup. I can't wait for that matchup. Even if Jabari Smith's still on that roster, you don't know what they might do with him. so,
I'm
so he
gonna say
probably
this right
take
now,
it.
though. I'm gonna say this right now. Regardless of this conversation, regardless of the hype, I don't believe in Victor Wembanyama, man.
He said he don't. He
I'm I'm
don't.
I'm I'm a keen fan of Scoop.
Oh
Scoop
yeah.
to me is the field when we talk about winning the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Scoop gonna be the rookie of the year.
Well, yeah. Hopefully my team don't mess it up and we just take him and call it a day. All right, you guys. If you stayed with us this long, thank you for rocking with us. Hit that like, drop whatever comment you want. As long as you ain't talking about nobody's mamas and nobody's gonna get blocked by it. Say what you want to say. We'll take that. If you really stayed this long, go and drop a sub. We're gonna be bringing this. I already know who we bringing to the podium next, so it's gonna be exciting, man. So, what do y'all think about Victor Wembanyama and the expectations we have on him for his rookie year and his contract and his career? Thank you for rocking with us. I'm Vita Van Pelt. That is soy sauce. Turn the lights off. Janitor, come get this stuff out of here, man. We gone, man.